you everyone for joining the February 20th, 2018 VOLTHA TST call. So we are recording the session so we can post it later to the VOLTHA playlist. So please keep that in mind during the discussions. And I believe we will go ahead and get started for today. So the first thing we wanted to look at is the new issues that have come in since last Tuesday. And we do have a number of those. The first one is VOL 622. This one we discussed last time, so Ken, thank you for getting this opened up. This one is paired, or it's related to the story that we have on the VOLTHA DPID generation, and that was VOL 493. So we do have this related story open now for a change in VOLTHA core to remove the default DPID generation and fail if the DPID is not provided by the adapter, and also the DPID must be a MAC address. So this one is opened and targeted for Sprint 2. Do we know at this point who it should be assigned to?
Assign that to me. I forgot to assign that to myself.
Okay.
Thanks.
Whoops. Let's see if I can try this again. There we go. Oops, wait. It changed tickets on me. I'm sorry. So let me remove you from here. I'm not quite sure what happened. Let's try this again. It moved up to the next one. So, and let me close up the controls so I can see. Okay, it's off the screen. There we go. So thank you, Ken. And then the next item was the new one opened by Sean. So we did discuss this when he gave the overview of the adapter-related issues and some items that he was looking to see if they could be included in 1.3. And so this one is related to the clearing of the ONT LOS after the alarm condition was cleared. And so this one, I think today really what we'd be looking for is to see if this one can be accommodated in 1.3, or if we have a view from the community. And I know Sean did tell me he is not going to be able to attend today's call. So do we have any view on this issue from the community?
This is a bug and it's high. I would think that by default pulls it in.
I would hope so. And do we know who this one should be assigned to as well?
Anyone but me.
Okay, and I am not hearing anyone speak up at the moment. So 623, let me move it into the scope later. And we will go ahead and I'll see offline if I can get someone to pick up that issue. And then I believe the next one, this is similar as well. In that it was opened by Sean, and again, it's a defect to high priority related to testing that had occurred. And this one is after deleting the internet service with XPON via the CLI, the service cannot be restored after re-adding the service. So I think this one probably I think this came out of the POC as well. So here we have the description. So service is created, the RG initialized, the 802.1 authentication was authorized by Radius, and the HTTP request came in, and then service, oops, is there a comment? No, okay. And then after services were deleted through VOLTHA CLI, his service stopped, and then the same configuration was recreated and service was not able to be restored. And so in order to resolve the condition, it was required to wipe out all the flows from ONOS, restart VOLTA, and restart the Edge Core OLT. So any discussion from the community on this issue?
Again, I think these all become high priority. I mean, there's high. They
Yes.
become high priority for the next release, and we have to make sure we get people assigned. I think that's what it comes down to. I don't know how to get people assigned, but it becomes, in some sense, a higher priority than new features.
Yeah, I think if I'm not successful on getting assignees during the call, I'll take that offline and see what I can do over the next few days. So we'll scope this one into the release as well, into 1.3. And let me go on to the next one. And this is a medium, so a little lower in priority. This one is a new one opened. When was this opened? Almost a week ago. So this is OF Agent OpenFlow Converter, doesn't handle clear actions instruction type. And we've got the description in here. When we use VOLTHA ONOS Docker, ONOS sends clear actions instruction to the VOLTHA OF Agent component, and it just doesn't handle the instruction type and creates an exception, and the details are provided below. And as a conclusion, the flows stay in a pending add state when you check them via the ONOS CLI. So this one was opened almost a week ago. I'm not sure if anyone on this call has taken a look at this or has any additional info.
Julie, there's a proposed fix that went along with this.
Okay.
As well. I don't see it. Maybe try to refresh that.
I don't see it here. Yeah, let me see if I can. I know we have this problem this time of day often. No, okay.
Yeah.
So I will check later. So there is a proposed fix, sounds like?
Yeah, and also a little bit surprised that we're just seeing this now, that it hasn't been observed until now. So maybe something is different in the way it was being tested or something like that.
Do we need to get more details on the test environment from the reporter? Or not yet?
Well, probably not yet. I mean, the fix,
okay.
Probably the fix looked good. There was a missing cases in that that was.
Okay, so you've reviewed the proposed fix? Okay.
Yeah, I've looked at it. It looked like they were reasonable, but I don't know how to provoke this. This was, it wasn't.
Okay.
Just says when they were testing, but don't exactly know how this came about, because I don't think we've had a lot of reports so far of flows just in that pending state, never going through.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so I guess we'll continue discussion over the review of the proposed fix in Garrett. Is that best status at this point? And then if we need to collect more info, then we can ping the reporter and see if we need to reproduce it from someone else as well.
Probably sounds good.
Okay. Any other comments or questions from the community today? Okay. The next one was opened by Jonah, and this is allow VOLTHA to run without the build system, and he did assign it to himself. And let me expand the control so I can see if he is on. I do not see him on. Okay. All right. So I don't know if I'll be able to get a status on this one today. So so right now it is not, I believe, assigned to a release. And so I'm not sure if he's planning to try and get this covered in Sprint 2.
I wonder if this is one of the things he wants in 1.2.1 as well.
I suspect it is, based on some of, he did open up another issue as well. So I suspect this is what one of the things he wants for 121, so I may have to follow up with him afterwards if he doesn't join the call today. So I'll add a comment to him later so that I don't take your time right now. And then we will go to the next item, which is a new one as well, and opened a few days ago also. And there is, in this one, I can see it in Garrett, it is populating for me. We do have the proposed fix in place. And this was again opened by Jonah, so I'm expecting he wants it for 1.2.1. So console service and VOLTHA stack conflicts with existing console services.
How
so
you already actually submitted this one?
Yeah.
It might be merged already.
Let me see. Code label. Doesn't look like it's.
It's got a bunch of code reviews. Maybe it's just waiting to hit the merge button.
I think so. So I think this one is going to end up in, our current sprint and complete.
Yeah, this is also going to be more than 1.2.1 though.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So this one, again, the proposed change is already in Garrett, so you can take a look at there if you have not already. I believe we just have one more that is new, and David, I saw you opened this one just a couple hours ago. So update Docker build documentation to include default credentials for SSH.
Yep. So this was actually just started by, I was working with someone, I can't remember the name offhand, who wanted to just have the credentials in the Docker build markdown, and also wondered publicly why we don't have SSH keys. So rather than do what this, I'm updating to also document how you can use SSH keys to connect to the CLI. So that's taking a little longer than expected because I didn't do the easy thing. So that should be done today.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Any questions from anyone else on the call today for David? And then let me do one more refresh to see if anything else new came in. And I do not see any. So, okay. So I think then the next item we want to do was, I was just going to do a quick status if Jonah was on about the 1.2.1 and if that was on track and if there were issues that he needed help from the community on. And one more check on the attendee list. No, I don't see him. So, David, I think you had worked with him on some stuff related to this as well for some scripts and other things. Do you have any additional info that needs to be communicated today about the status for that, or
I don't. I think he's really he's really just trying to lobby for backporting some patches so that for 1.2.1 you can do a build only using Docker. You can use the public available containers to run it. And it's kind of these ease of use things.
Okay. And I don't remember seeing anything on VOLTHA discuss related to like a listing of additional issues or items that needed to be included. So I think I'll just follow up with him offline for anything that he might need from us at this point. It looks like he's been opening related issues as well in JIRA. And so I'll talk to him offline.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Then the next item is then we will move on to 1.3 Sprint 2 and look at the current status that we've got. And let's see, let me go to a different view here. Okay, and let me just check to see if Jason is on. I'm not expecting him to be on today because I know they are having holidays right now in his part of the globe. So I was not really expecting we would likely get much of an update today on the EdgeCore Redfish related issues. Kim, I don't know if you know any more than I do at this point. I did not see anything new to report today on that, so I think we'll have to wait until after vacation for updates on this. Do you have any additional info?
I had not seen any email or anything like that since the last we talked.
Okay. So we can follow up with him. I know Sean wanted to be sensitive to, folks are taking time off right now, and so we don't want to interrupt vacations. But we'll see if we can get an update for the next meeting. Okay, so let me see. Chip, I do see you are on, so maybe we'll go to the Open OMCI next. So we do have some more items in the done column, so thank you for that. I wanted to make sure we briefly touched on 607 today with the, let me open it up over here. Oops. Okay. And so this one, at this point, I believe Chip is looking for feedback from the community. And related to that, I do see we have the info has been submitted to Garrett as well. So the code is out there for review, and there's info on the wiki on some child pages that he's created for how this is, how the changes are being provided and how to integrate them into the ONU. And so I wanted to make sure that's pointed out to the community. I believe I've got that open on another tab here, and to make sure that folks who are involved in this work, in the OMCI work and in the ONU adapters, know where to find this. So Chip, thank you for putting that link in JIRA so people could navigate easily to it. And then I do want to make sure people are taking a look at this and getting feedback to Chip so we can continue to move forward with the Open OMCI work. So Chip, do you have any additional comments you want to make on the work so far?
Not really on the OMCI. Well, actually, I'm working on the unit test for it, so I'm building up a unit test framework to be able to mock some of the capabilities, because I'd like to put as much as possible, 50% or better under unit test for everything.
Okay.
And I'll open it up that.
Okay, that sounds good. And do you have feedback yet, or still pending for that?
Yeah, I've gotten feedback from 2 people, 2+1s, and some discussions. So there are some comments out there.
That's right.
But no code changes.
I looked at that yesterday. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So is there anything more you need at this point, or just kind of continued review from folks?
Well, if people can probably, if it looks acceptable or not, it'd be nice to finish it up, but, add yourself to the review if necessary and comment as needed. So. And I'm going ahead with what I have already. And as soon as it's accepted, I'll go ahead and change the ADTRAN ONU to use those methods. So I'm going to try to follow on any check-ins in Open OMCI with changes in our adapters, as well as some code samples out on the developer page, just to help people.
Thank you for that. And I think that was the approach you had done earlier as well.
Yeah, and just as a side comment, like the OMCI communication channel and the ME frame, so a lot of the framework to do, the initial MIB upload to grab information from that, if people can wait until those methods are available to add them to the ONU adapter if they want to, or they can, do it piecemeal as they think they feel fit. So.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Chip related to the Open OMCI work at this point? Okay. And then I think the next topic that we have that covers the bulk of the remaining issues that are in this sprint are related to the Kubernetes support. Do we have anyone who can discuss any updates or status on that work today?
The work is ongoing, and I think we'll split that JIRA into 2, because it will be a work that will be beyond one sprint. I think we will take 2 sprints to complete that.
I saw that in your comments on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
We'll
any
do that,
questions?
and then we'll move whatever we'll do in this sprint, we'll move that in progress.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and a reminder for folks that we have till the end of next week for this current sprint. And so that is our current target. And I think at this point we are still on track. Not sure about the redfish items, but I think the other ones are currently on track. We have a few new items to add in from the defect list items we went over today. Let's see, I see there are a couple other items in here. Who do I have on the call? Okay, so talked about this one. So I think 506, this one, I don't know the status here, so let me close this back up. Okay, I think this one kind of, when we looked at this before, there was a new comment from Tim back in November, which is a while back, but there had been a request at one point for retesting after VOL 419 was merged to see if that resolved the issue. And I don't know if that retesting occurred or if we have a current status on this issue. So we can go over and pull up Garrett here. Yeah, I don't think there's been any related work on this for a while. So let's see if Niren, are you on today? No, I don't see him on the list. Okay, so I may need to ping him after the meeting as well. Do we have anyone in the community who can provide some background here on this, or do I need to just talk to Niren? Okay, so I will follow up to see if this was retested after 419 was merged in and see if that resolved the issue or not. And then hopefully we'll get some updates in here. And then let me see if this is the last one. I think this is the last one that we need to discuss today. Okay, and this was 493. I know there was a little more discussion on VOL to discuss related to this item. So this one still does not have an assignee. And so I wanted to see if we're at the point where we can assign someone for this item or not. So we talked about the related changes in VOLTA Core earlier. It's a separate ticket for that.
Oh, this one will go in for this current sprint.
Okay, so is there anyone to assign to it at this point for the adapter side? So we've got, I think, Ken, we have you assigned on the core side.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was the core side. The core side will go in.
Yeah.
Julie, the adapter side, I think, is VOL 627. Check that one. It may be done.
Okay. 627.
For edge core adapter.
If both the adapters and the core side are done, this essentially gets deleted.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see that. Yeah. It was already done, so it didn't show up on my list. Okay. Thank you for that. 627.
I would make that previous one just depend on the other ones, and when they're done, wipe it. Okay. Mark is done. I think this was just me raising the bug. Yeah,
I think so. Okay. So we'll add let me get back to the right screen here. So 493. So I'll add the dependencies to, I don't remember the number for the other one, to 493. We'll add the dependencies for 622 and 627. Okay, so I can do that after the call so I don't tie you up here. And so thank you for that. And I'll add a related comment in there that will close out once both of those two dependencies are complete. And this item we'll need to figure out what to do with. I did move it down a little bit further. There's kind of some continual updates and refresh work going on with various parts of the Volta Wiki pages. So it really needs to be done on a continuing basis, I think. So we may need to recast this JIRA slightly or just have a related one open with each release. So we can, I wanted to talk with Sean about how he wanted to handle that one, but I will have to do that when he's, I think, back in the office. I won't be discussing that one today unless there are comments from the group. Okay, and I'm not hearing comments from the group. So let me go back to the backlog view one more time here. And then we have a few of these we'll be pulling in. For next Thursday, so the postponed discussion we had that Manuel was going to lead, we will do that on this Thursday. Are there other topics that need to be brought for kind of deep dive discussions with the community? Because I think we would have some additional time on this Thursday's call. It's a quiet group today. Okay, I'm not hearing anything. We may have, if you have items that you'd like to have the TST have some more deep dive technical discussions, let me know and we can try and slot that in to one of the Thursday sessions. So I believe we've gone over all the new issues, updates on current status for Sprint 2 for Volta 1.3, and things are moving along. I still have a concern about the redfish items if they will make it in Sprint 2, so we'll have to wait until holidays are over and find out the status there. Anything else from the group today? Otherwise, I think we are wrapping up. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so I think we'll go ahead and close today's call. So thank you everyone for the updates and the info provided. I will sync up with Jono offline about 1.2.1 to see if he has any items he needs info from us on or additional help from the community, but I believe he's been working that in the background. And then we will meet on Thursday. And just a reminder that Sean did move the time for the Thursday calls to 1 hour earlier going forward. And so on Thursday, we will be starting again at 7 a.m. Pacific time. So that's 1 hour earlier than we started today. So last call for comments before I stop the recording. All right, I will go ahead and close the meeting. So thank you everyone for your attendance and for your input.